The avionics suite that we have on board definitely allows us to analyze our drop zone very carefully and making sure that we're delivering these bundles not only in an ideal location for recovery by the Islanders, but also a safe location, making sure that we're not posing any risk to any protected objects such as buildings, any types of structures, and looking for any people that might be in the drop zone. Very important that we maintain the safety while we're delivering these bundles. The training that we've been getting here at Operation Christmas Drop is just phenomenal. Being able to actually execute some of these humanitarian aid, disaster relief provisions in an environment, not only delivering aid, but practicing out these tactics and techniques that we learn about. It's really important that we can hone these skills now so that if we are called on to respond to a disaster here in the future, that we've practiced these delivery methods, these tactics that we use, and we can effectively respond to any disasters that may happen in the future. We've been focusing on Christmas Drop for a couple months now, just in the sense of incorporating some of the tactics that we would need to use on this mission into our local training missions. We've been having extra ground training, talking about the different methods we'd be using for identifying these drop zones and making sure that we're delivering them in this scenario where we're not used to having some of the facilities that we normally have, such as qualified personnel in the drop zone, accurate weather assessments, surveys of the drop zone, all these things that we depend on normally we don't have here. And so that's why it's really important for us to be able to come here and practice without those, because in a disaster we'd be in the same situation. The legacy of Operation Christmas Drop is it's overpowering to hear about it all, and then to actually be a part of this is it's really special. The immediacy of the feedback we get from delivering the bundles. I mean, the bundles go out and instantly all the Islanders rush to recover them, and you can tell they're just waving with all their hearts and are so thankful for the aid that we're being able to deliver. It really is rewarding to see that and know that we're making a difference in their lives. Very big impact. They won't receive that level of aid again until we come back next year. That's kind of overwhelming to think about. No, this is my first real interface with the COCOGTI and RAF, the Royal Australian Air Force. Being able to integrate with them here, so we're all training together, is really important. We see similarities in operating procedures, but also differences. And where the differences don't quite line up, you see a mutual effort to work together and line up so the mission gets done. And practicing how we would respond in a disaster, being able to train here together is really important so that we are able to execute in the future if we're called upon. So probably the most rewarding moment just occurs after we conduct an airdrop and these bundles that land on these islands, just seeing the Islanders come out and recover them and start tearing into them with the various food and supplies that are inside. And they're jumping up and down, so excited to be able to have these supplies. You can tell from the bottom of their heart that they're very appreciative, and seeing that is a really special moment and makes all the hard work worth it. So it's important that we're able to come out here and practice our training procedures, not only amongst our partners in the COCOGTI and the Royal Australian Air Force, but amongst ourselves, being able to practice the crew resource management, cockpit resource management that's required to execute some of these maneuvers. So pilots talking to loadmasters, loadmasters talking to pilots. We depend on the loadmasters to give an effective scan of the drop zone, making sure there's no buildings that could be damaged, no people that we injure. We want to make sure that safety is a top priority, so it's really important that we get to practice these procedures so that when called upon, we know the loadmasters and pilots can work together to effectively deliver bundles.